Hi everyone, I'm going to react to Log Horizon Season 2, Episode 22, Stranger. And last episode, everybody went their ways. Like the kids went back home, and then you had Rachel also leaving, but she left a letter for Shiroi. And then Dariela also left, so everybody went their separate ways. The kids came home, they felt relief, they slept, and then they ended the episode with um, Shiroi having the letter in hand. So I'm really looking forward to whatever's in that letter. I hope they tell us, you know. And well, there was this genius of marriage or something or other that was basically controlling this woman. And what's my boy's name? Why am I forgetting his name? Well, he came and then told the girls to be careful, and then the guy turned his powers on him, and then all the girls jumped him and whatnot. That was funny. So yeah, that's basically what happened last episode. And before we get into this one, if you guys have my reaction, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and please consider supporting my Patreon at patreon.com/if And now let's start this episode. And here we go. Okay, guys, in case the reaction gets blocked and I had to cut out the reaction itself, you can just look in the pinned comment in the comment section where for the link to the reaction highlight itself, so you can just click on it, watch it, and then you just come back for my review. Huh? That's it. Navigators. You are confusing me. You are confusing me. I said, what do they look like? And now he's saying that he's his little sister, but then she last being called the sister, so she's just saying that in parable. Yeah, we are ready for the punchline. That's not just for your gimmicks. Just check this out. Oh, that's yeah. Yeah, people are not happy. Stranger. Mm-hmm. Look at the way his eyes changed. Your eyes, man, you scare me. When your eyes go like that. Hmm. Is he gonna run again? He said that's a Icelus. Oh, okay. Oh my gosh. He's being too formal. He's being too informal. Hmm. No, that is wrong. The genius of measures. Uh huh. Yeah, they did mention empathy on second time. Oh, look at him. Still a ruler. In hoodie? Yep. Air glasses. Oh, I got about you. You're gonna break him. Oh, look at these. After Effect. How are you a sister? Oh, really? Like when you're using the apron or whatever? Adorable. Why was he surprised by that? I can't wait to see how she is when she grows up. He's gonna be adorable. Konami, she's on her way. Ah, and there he goes. Yep. They're not gonna be able to fully adapt. Tell me too. Other members. Huh? Huh? Okay. And that's Rito. So geniuses are part of those two things. So They're the geniuses, right? So they're possessing geniuses in this game? Because you have empathies or whatever. Yep. Huh? What the heck is this person? Wait, get back to that moon thingy. That means dying? Huh? I got so many answers, but I'm still so confused. Okay, so I feel like I do this a lot. But after this episode ended, I sat back here again. Sat back here like I stood up before. And I was coming through the episode again because, I've been saying ever since Rory 2 showed up, like, what is her deal? Ooh, I wanted answers. So when she left the letter for Shiroi last episode, I was hoping that they were gonna dive into it this episode, and they did. And it's still okay. So apparently, she was called a navigator. There are two kinds of navigators. There are the observers, and then there are the harvesters. Yeah, and the harvesters are the geniuses, and apparently they came from another world, and they're looking to harvest empathions because they're running out of that resource on their world, so they need to replenish it, and that's why they came to this world. And they've been observing stuff, I guess. They know a lot of stuff about, I guess, what's going on over here, but they still don't know who brought them here. Apparently, they don't know who brought them here, like the adventurers, like who put them inside the game. And there was a debate also with Shiroi about whether this was a game that turned into reality and now they're now stuck in that reality, or if this just like another world that looks like the Elder Tale game, which they don't know. So basically you have these two different worlds. You have the game world, and then you have two different worlds where you have the adventurers and you have the people, I guess, from the moon. But they're like this Roy to said that their community is like on the moon, and then they are the observers are not observers, like navigators, meaning both observers and harvesters, right? They are artificial beings. They were created, right? And since and the reason why Roy 2 looks like Shiroi is basically because Shiroi is the one that created that avatar, I guess, that persona in the game on the moon server, which, I guess I understand the concept of creating two different characters, like playing two different characters. I understand that concept. I just don't understand the concept of the moon server. And I guess in their world, are there people living on the moon? Is that why this? I'm confused about the moon server kind of stuff. Because they were saying something about how it was a rumor that there was a test server on the moon. So how did Shiroi create this Roy 2 character on the moon? I'm confused about that. So whoever Roy 2 is, like the artificial person that is inhabiting Roy 2 right now, took over that character and apparently has Shiroi's memories inside of it. Okay. Confused. So yeah, they're there to collect. Well, the observers are there to observe, and then the harvesters are there to collect. And then they went through all these different type of geniuses that showed up. You had the genius of marriage that they were able to dispatch of quickly. The contrast between when Sojiro was like being the happy-go-lucky person, and then when he's facing an enemy, like there wasn't that something extraordinary happening here, but just the switch in his eyes, it scares me. Like, I find it cool, but it scares me as well. So they were able to dispatch the genius of marriage, right? And then they talked about the genius of measures that also showed up, and he can basically mess with any units, length, time, weight, measure those stuff, like mess up those stuff. So when a group of adventurers went after him and they tried to stop him, he basically was messing with their concept of, distance, times, wavelength. So if all those things are messed up, your attacks will not land. And then what was his name again? Showed up with this ruler that he's calling the source vessel that he created with the help of the Kunia clan, and that the dude was just like there presenting. It was so funny. He showed up with this, and that basically put everything to its right place, so they were able to defeat the genius of measures. And then one of them during the meeting talked about the genius of plague that also showed up, and they talked about this poisoning incident before the scale festival. And I'm like, I didn't see anything in the anime about the poisoning event or whatever that happened. So that's something that happened, I guess, off screen. But I feel like, I know this is based on what is the word escaping me? On a novel. So I'm wondering if this poisoning incident of before the scale festival, whatever. I'm wondering if that was part of the novel, but they just didn't include it in the anime. They just showed this little snippet of it as they were talking about it during the meeting. I would have loved to see how that went about. So yeah, they said, unless I'm getting this wrong, that these geniuses were bodies that were created on the moon, and then the artificial intelligence, the community, whatever, they sent those people, someone to inhabit those bodies, and then they sent them to the game, I guess, to the world, to collect empathions. And I feel like the reason why, excuse me, I feel like the empathions things is something that they can only get from adventurers. That's what I feel like. I don't know if they can get it from people of the land. I guess they might, but we only hear about this empathion stuff when they're facing adventurers. So I'm guessing that's where they get it from. And during the letter, when Rueto was signing off, she was referring to Minori's empathions as being warm. Your warm empathions, something or other. So I'm like, I'm not fully understand. Is it like some kind of personality thing? I know Garrett told me in a comment, gave me a little bit of his definition of what empathions might be, but I'm forgetting what he said, and I don't have internet right now to connect. So it's like, yeah, I still don't get what these empathions things are supposed to do. And then Roit too is like, if you want to go back home, that their community on the moon can help, so that they should find a way to communicate with the moon. And I guess that's what the next step is for Shiroe. And then by the end of the episode there, as he was talking about, if you were able to go back there meaning that when they died, when Shiroi and Akatsuki died, when they both woke up in this world, this close to this beach that was supposed to be on the moon, because it's like they were on the moon and they can see the earth, in the distance. So they're like, if they go back there, they might be able to go home. The only way they got back there was by dying. Okay, so does this mean that in order to go there, they have to die? Or is there another way to go to the moon without dying? I don't know. And then when the episode was ending, you see this person. I feel like at first I thought maybe this person was, before I went back through the episode, I thought maybe this person was the maybe the one that created this whole mess with the people getting stuck in the game and whatnot, like the one responsible for all of it. But then the way that I saw it, because after I went through the episode again, the way they transitioned to this particular person, you see Shiroi was looking up basically at the moon, right? And then they switched to the transition to this person that you were still looking at the moon, and then this guy like showed up basically on Earth. So I feel like he must be either another observer or he's a harvester, a genius, I guess. I just don't know which one. I guess we'll see when it comes to that. They showed Isaac training the Knights of Maihama, meaning Lenesia's people, right? And we saw her little brother, I guess, also there. And then they mentioned Isaac mentioned the fact that Krusty was the one that was supposed to be looking after Lenesia, but that he was on a trip. So clearly Isaac doesn't know what's going on with Krusty. Why? Why are they keeping that a secret from him? I guess from the round table, since he's part of the round table and he doesn't know. So why are they keeping that particular thing a secret? I have no clue. Doesn't make any sense to me. And it seems like they're not doing anything to try to figure out where he is. So I'm like upset about that. And then what else? You have this conversation between Nyanta and Sirara about the fact that people are stuck in the game involuntarily, that they didn't want to be stuck there. So I guess he's feeling bad about how people wants to go home, like thinking about what's his name during the train fight. He's thinking about how all those people are not happy to be stuck in the game and they just want to go home. So he's asking Sirara if she's happy to be here, and Sirara's like, yes, she is, and that surprised him. And then he asked, like, if she's not missing going back home. She's like, yeah, I miss my parents and all that, but even being here, I still have some goals, some dreams that I want to accomplish. And that really, I guess, it made Nyanta feel better, that it's not just this dark point of view where there are people stuck here and they don't care about this world and they're willing to mess this world up because they just want to go home. It's not just that. You have these people as well, these kids that, yes, they are stuck in the game, not because they want to, but they are making the best out of this situation. So I guess that made Nyanta feel better, I love that moment where Minori was walking by the door where the older members were having their meeting over there, and the door is closed and they have older meetings that going on. Just knock before you enter, and she's like, huh? I don't know. For some reason, I love that scene. What else is there to talk about? Yeah. I think there was something that Sojiro said that also maybe puzzled me a little bit. Like when he said that when they were facing the genius of marriage, and they defeated him, that it was so easy, that it felt so hollow, and that it was more like how you would be, like how they were on the outside playing the game. Like it felt like that. And the fact that these geniuses are these other people from another world that are inhabiting these bodies with extraordinary abilities, and then they killed him like it was nothing. I was about to say, like, it's like, I don't know. You know how they were in the real world and they're playing the game, right? And now they're stuck in the game, and it's like now they are like players in the game, and then the people from the other world are like the monsters that I don't know. Like it was kind of like this step thing. I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. It just felt weird, the way that he said it. But then again, that particular genius was easy for them to defeat. But in order to defeat the genius of measures, they had to have this source vessel or whatever to disrupt his abilities before they could defeat him. If they didn't have that, it would have been pretty hard for them to defeat him. So I guess it depends on the levels of the geniuses. Roberto mentioned the fact that after having spent some time with the kids, that the adventurers were rank 3 and above or something, and that the resources of that world should go to them, and that the harvesters were rank 2. So what does that mean? They're not intelligent enough? Like what's with the ranking system? Like what does that mean? If rank 2, if rank 2 is like, okay, the resources on this earth goes to you, but then the harvesters are still going around harvesting empathions, like does her ranking system affect what the community on the moon believes? And they don't care whether they're rank 3 or not. They just want the empathions, and they're gonna keep sending these harvesters to harvest them however they have to. The people on the community, the community on the moon, like, are they good person? The good people? If they were good people, they wouldn't be sending harvesters to attack adventurers and people of the land and stuff, right? And then there's the war that's brewing between the people of the land and adventurers. Oh no, there's so much stuff going on. I feel like I would appreciate everything better if I was reading the novel. Like I would understand better, maybe. I don't know. Thank you guys for watching, and if you like this reaction, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and if you want to see my reaction to episode 23, you can do so by checking out my Patreon at patreon.com/filmmini, and you can also see the full length of this reaction there as well. So thanks for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye.